Chosen one. This day will confirm the calling. It's time. This is the moment. You didn't arrive here by accident. Every experience, every rise, every fall, every sleepless night was never random. The timing, the silence, the struggle, the loneliness. It was all orchestrated with divine precision. You were being prepared for a day like this. Today, the invisible becomes visible. What you couldn't quite put into words will suddenly start making sense. The signs were never just coincidences. They were confirmations. Chosen one. Before we begin, I ask you to stay until the end of this message. Don't click away. Don't pause your destiny. And if you feel the energy flowing through these words, I encourage you to comment your warmest wishes below and write number 99 to anchor this vibration in the universe. This is a chapter where wishes come true and energy aligns with action. Let's begin. You have always felt different. Not better, just different. As if the noise of the world couldn't quite drown out the whisper inside you. The whisper that kept reminding you, you are meant for more. Not more money, not more followers, but more alignment, more purpose, more truth. And now, here you are, standing on a threshold where hesitation has no home. This is your confirmation. That moment you were waiting for, it's already in motion. This is the day that doesn't scream. It echoes. It doesn't chase attention. It awakens memory. You're not just walking into another 24 hours. You are entering a divine alignment. You are not who you used to be. The version of you that was questioning, doubting, hesitating, that version is melting away. Why? Because calling doesn't wait forever. Calling knocks. And today, it is knocking louder than ever. The storm didn't come to break you. It came to reveal you. While others ran from the rain, you stood in it. You felt every drop. You let it purify your pain and cleanse your fear. You didn't quit when you were tired. You stayed, even when no one was watching. Even when it felt like nothing was working. Even when the silence became louder than any voice you knew. And now, the silence is speaking. Every chosen one goes through the hidden phase. The season where they are unseen, unheard, and misunderstood. Not because they are unworthy, but because their greatness requires sacred preparation. Your setbacks weren't punishment. They were blueprints. You were never late. You were being aligned. And today marks the arrival, not of ease, but of clarity. Not of applause, but of authority. You will start noticing how things begin to shift today. Not always externally, but internally first. A calm knowing, a peaceful fire. You'll feel the release of what you no longer need and the rise of what you've always carried. You're not becoming something new. You are remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. This isn't a reinvention. It's a reconnection. That uneasiness in your heart wasn't confusion. It was an alarm clock. Your soul has been waking you up for this. That feeling of, I can't stay here anymore, that was truth knocking on your comfort zone's door. It's time to move. Not out of fear, but into trust. Not into chaos, but into certainty. This is a divine appointment. It won't be loud. It won't be dramatic. It'll be quiet, certain, real. Some people will not understand your shift. That's okay. They weren't meant to see what you see. Your calling isn't for validation. It's for transformation. You're not here to explain yourself. You're here to embody yourself. Don't shrink to fit spaces that weren't built for your destiny. You don't need permission to shine. Your presence is the permission. Your alignment is your assignment. You may lose some things today, some relationships, some ideas, some comfort, but what's coming in return is substance, meaning, flow, and peace. Not just any peace, the peace that comes from knowing. That kind of peace that can't be given or taken. That sacred clarity that confirms, this is the day, this is the shift, this is the call. You're no longer trying to prove anything. You're just becoming. You're not forcing your way in. You're being invited in. And it all starts from within. You've cleared space in your spirit. You've emptied yourself of false expectations. You've stripped away layers of doubt. And now you are ready to carry the light you were always meant to hold. You are not average. You were never ordinary. You were never built for background noise. You were forged in the silence to carry a sound that awakens, a sound that frees, a sound that shifts the atmosphere when you walk in the room. You were not chosen for convenience. You were chosen for change, and change never comes quietly. Your hands may be trembling. That's okay. So did every great warrior before the first battle. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to rise in spite of it. And that's what you're doing now. You are rising. And this rise is holy. This moment is sacred not because of where you are, but because of who you're becoming in it. What you do next won't come from a place of desperation. It'll come from destiny. No more searching for signs. You are the sign. No more waiting for permission. You are the permission. The timing is not random. The pull you feel right now is the confirmation you asked for. You've been praying for a door. But this calling is not about finding a door. It's about realizing you are the door. And when you move, others find the courage to move. When you rise, others remember they were born to rise too. Your calling isn't just for you. It's for those who will never meet you, but who will be moved by the ripple you create. And that's what today is. A ripple, a declaration, a spiritual announcement to the universe. The one who was prepared in the dark is now stepping into the light. You were chosen, and this day will confirm it. There is a power rising in you right now. Not an ego, not a performance, but a quiet strength that doesn't need to shout. You've outgrown the need for approval. You've stepped out of the season of needing applause to feel worthy. Now your confirmation doesn't come from people. It comes from alignment, from knowing in your spirit that something irreversible has shifted. You don't feel the same today because you're not the same. The old you was built to survive. This version is built to walk in purpose. You're not being called into ease. You're being called into elevation. Elevation doesn't come when everything is perfect. It comes when everything within you says, enough playing small. You were sent here to awaken something in this world. And it starts with allowing yourself to step into what has always been whispering to you. Yes, the resistance will come, but resistance is only confirmation that your presence is disrupting the systems of comfort and delay. You are a reminder to this world that purpose can't be paused, that destiny doesn't expire. You were delayed, not denied. And today, that delay breaks. You may not see the whole picture yet, but you don't have to. Vision doesn't always show you the whole road. Sometimes it only shows you the first step, and that's all you need today. The courage to move, not because you have all the answers, but because you trust that this calling didn't come to tease you. It came to transform you. Your confirmation isn't in the mirror, it's in the movement. Every time you hesitated before, every time you doubted if it was real, today is the answer. That quiet knowing in your chest, that tingling in your fingertips, that awareness that this moment feels unlike any other. That's not just a feeling. It's the call being acknowledged by your soul. You're not crazy. You're not making it up. You're awakening. And awakening is messy. It tears through your old frameworks. It shatters illusions. It pulls you out of timelines you never belonged to. But it also brings clarity, the kind that cuts deep and cleanses as it moves. You won't be able to unsee what you see after this. You won't be able to go back to how things were, because calling creates a new frequency, and only the aligned can walk with you now. Don't be surprised if some people disappear after this. Don't chase. Let them go. Calling makes you magnetic, but only to what's meant. The rest will fall off. And when it does, don't grieve what was never supposed to follow you into this chapter. What you're walking into demands room. It demands focus. It demands a heart that is no longer divided. That's why so much had to fall away. You had to become lighter for the climb. You can feel it, can't you? That sense that something is unfolding without your control. That something is being released. That something is being stirred up. You don't need to label it. You just need to trust it. Calling isn't always comfortable. In fact, it rarely is. It requires surrender. It requires releasing the version of you that played it safe, the version of you that kept asking for proof before taking the leap. But today, proof isn't necessary, because your being here, reading this, feeling this, is the proof. You wouldn't be hearing this if you weren't meant to step into it. You wouldn't feel the weight of this moment if it weren't already yours. So breathe it in. Let the confirmation settle into your bones. Let the truth of who you are shake off everything that ever made you feel small. You've been climbing silently, but heaven has been watching. This day wasn't just marked on a calendar. It was written into your very soul. You've walked through fire, not to get burned, but to be refined. Every scar you carry is sacred ink in the manuscript of your destiny. You weren't supposed to give up. You were supposed to get clear, and now you are. You are clear, not because you have all the details, but because your spirit has said yes. That yes is louder than any doubt now. That yes is more powerful than your past. That yes is not just a whisper. It's a roar in the realm of the unseen. And once a chosen one says yes, the entire universe begins to rearrange to honor it. That's why things feel different today. That's why the atmosphere around you feels charged. You've entered a zone where alignment moves faster than logic. You are no longer waiting on signs. You are following instructions. You are being led by something greater than intellect. This is heart work. This is soul work. And the deeper you go, the more clearly you hear. You're ready, not because you're perfect, but because you've been prepared. You've learned the lessons. You've walked the road. You've bled in private. And now, you rise in clarity. This is not the end of the process. This is the beginning of manifestation. All that has been stirring inside of you, dreams, visions, downloads, divine nudges, they are not fantasies. They are blueprints. And this day marks the shift from blueprint to building, from imagining it to becoming it, from hoping to holding. That's why you've been feeling the pressure, because manifestation presses you into purpose. And purpose doesn't come gently. It shakes you, breaks you, then builds you back into the real you. You are not who you were a month ago. You are not who you were yesterday. In fact, something in you already feels detached from who you were this morning. That's the speed of spiritual alignment. When you stop resisting, acceleration begins. And right now, you're accelerating. Things that used to take years will now take weeks. Doors that were shut will now open without you knocking. This is the momentum of confirmation. Not only will this day confirm the calling, it will invite others to witness the rise. You won't need to explain. You won't need to announce. Your energy will speak. Your movement will testify. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you exist, it will all become a sermon that only those with ears to hear will understand. You are not trying to become chosen. You are finally owning it. You are not wondering if you're ready. You are realizing that you already are. You are not searching anymore. You are stepping. And this step will echo far beyond what your eyes can see. What you begin today, mentally, spiritually, energetically, will ripple through generations. And this is only the beginning. You didn't come this far just to wonder. You came this far to walk in it. And walking in it means leaving behind the almosts, the maybes, the I hope so's. You are no longer in the realm of waiting. You're in the space of unfolding. You've stepped into divine rhythm. Now everything is aligning. Not always visibly, but spiritually. Your thoughts are aligning. Your energy is aligning. Your path is catching up to your preparation. Don't underestimate the weight of what you carry just because others can't see it. The world isn't always ready for what you are, but your time isn't dependent on the world's readiness. It's tied to your decision. And today, you decided to show up, to rise, to release what was. That alone shifts the course of your entire timeline. This is not a small moment. This is a sacred declaration. I will no longer abandon myself just to be accepted. You're not walking backwards anymore. You're not repeating cycles. You've broken the loop. You've seen too much. You've felt too deeply. You've paid the price. And now, the door has opened. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. You became the vibration that matches your next level. That's why the discomfort increased. Because growth doesn't knock, it pushes. And you've allowed it to push you into power. You're not the same person that tolerated delays disguised as waiting. You now see the truth. Calling doesn't wait. It flows. And you're in that flow now. Some people might say, you've changed. Let them. Growth always looks like rebellion to those who benefit from your stagnancy. You are not here to comfort their expectations. You are here to walk in your sacred agreement, to fulfill the frequency you were sent here to release. You'll notice how your body feels different now. There's less tension, less need to defend, less need to prove. That's alignment. It shows up as peace before it shows up as progress. You've been called, but now you're finally answering. And that's the shift, because calling without action is just potential. But calling met with courage becomes movement. That movement starts within. It reprograms the inner monologue. You're no longer speaking from fear. You're speaking from foundation. You're no longer walking on eggshells. You're walking in presence. With every step, you're declaring, I belong here. I was born for this. I am not asking. I am accepting. This shift is not loud. It doesn't come with fanfare. It arrives quietly, like a knowing whisper. This is it. That whisper has grown louder lately. It's been echoing in your dreams, in your spirit, in your conversations. Everything around you has been trying to prepare you for this moment. Not because it's the finish line, but because it's the entry point to the real journey. The part where you stop surviving and start serving. Serving not from a place of exhaustion or desperation, but from overflow. You can feel it now, can't you? The overflow of clarity, the overflow of awareness, the overflow of truth. You're no longer running on empty. You're tapping into the source. And from here, the path lights up. Not all at once, but step by step. This is not the day you figure it all out. This is the day you say, I don't need to know everything to begin. And that permission is powerful. You no longer need a map. You've become a compass. You no longer seek direction from others. You are the direction. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present. Your presence is the portal. Your awareness is the access point. And your willingness to move is the fuel. When you stop trying to get it right and simply be right where you are, everything changes. You realize the power was never in the plan. It was in the permission. And now you've given yourself that. The permission to be whole, to be bold, to be broken and still worthy, to be chosen and know it, to be led and still powerful. There is no more confusion in your core. There is clarity, not loud, but deep. You're no longer chasing alignment. You are alignment. You're no longer praying to be ready. You're walking like you already are. And as you walk, you'll notice people will start to ask you what changed. They'll wonder where this calm came from. They'll feel your energy shift before they hear your words. That's what happens when you walk in truth. You don't have to shout anymore. You are the frequency now. The people meant for you will feel it. The paths meant for you will open. The doors meant for you will unlock, not by force, but by resonance. And as they open, you will not walk in with hesitation. You will walk in with sacred confidence. Not arrogance, not entitlement, but awareness. The kind of awareness that comes from surviving the desert and realizing you were the oasis all along. You've become the very thing you were searching for. It was never about the external title. It was about the internal shift. The moment when you stopped waiting to be called and started realizing you were the call. You'll feel it in your bones today that something is different, that the inner landscape of your soul has been rearranged, that the silence now feels like instruction instead of absence, that the delay now feels like divine orchestration instead of rejection. And as that truth settles into your nervous system, you'll notice your breath slows, your thoughts calm, your body relaxes, your soul rises, because now you know it's time. It's time to stop rehearsing the past and start embodying the future. You've done enough internal work. You've broken enough patterns. You've cried enough tears. You've questioned enough signs. You don't need more convincing. You need to walk, because it's not about who's watching. It's about what's waiting. And what's waiting for you is not small. It's not casual. It's not accidental. It's exact. It's the moment that everything starts to move in your favor, not because everything outside you changed, but because you finally did. You shifted from hoping to knowing, from wishing to embodying. You realize that power doesn't knock twice, and when it knocks, it sounds just like this moment. Familiar, undeniable, deep. It calls from within, not from above. The voice that says, "Go now," isn't shouting anymore. It's inside you. It's woven into your heartbeat. It's coded into your breath. You are not just hearing the call. You are vibrating with it. Every part of you knows this is not a dream anymore. This is arrival. You don't owe the old version of you anything. You don't owe explanations. You don't owe apologies. You owe yourself movement. The kind of movement that rewrites timelines, that defies the odds, that realigns everything that was once scattered. You're not here to play by the rules of the past. You're here to write the new code. And that starts with walking differently, speaking differently, existing differently. You've entered a new realm of awareness, the realm where overthinking loses power, where second-guessing gets replaced by instinct, where everything that used to paralyze you now propels you. You are becoming untouchable, not because you're hardened, but because you're whole. Wholeness is your armor now. And with it, you walk into every room knowing you belong. You speak knowing your voice matters. You create knowing your gift is needed. No more shrinking, no more adjusting your light to keep others comfortable. If your shine makes them squint, let them look away. You weren't chosen to fit in. You were chosen to break patterns. And to break patterns, you have to be okay with breaking away. From the people who only knew the old you, from the stories that kept you caged, from the limits that felt like protection but were actually chains. You are not walking in fear anymore. You are walking in truth. And truth walks tall, even in uncertainty, even in solitude, even when nothing around you makes sense yet. Truth doesn't need evidence. It is the evidence. You are becoming that evidence. You're not just confirming the calling. You are becoming the confirmation others will feel. Let this be the day you stop doubting your instincts. Let this be the day you stop begging for clarity you already have. Let this be the day you declare, I'm already in motion. You are. Even now, you're moving. Every choice you make today is echoing across timelines. That message you send, that silence you keep, that risk you take, that emotion you release. All of it is movement. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. Every whisper you follow is part of your greater return. You're not being guided by chance. You're being pulled by purpose. And that purpose doesn't care how many times you failed. It cares that you still said yes. And you did. You're saying yes with your energy. Yes with your posture. Yes with your boundaries. Yes with your self-respect. Yes with your presence. You don't need to have it all figured out to say yes. You just need to stop delaying what's already yours. There is no longer room for almost. There is no more space for someday. You are not training for the calling. You are walking in it now. And as you walk, you'll notice how time bends around your movement. What used to take months now takes days. What used to require struggle now flows. Because when you align with your assignment, the resistance breaks, the walls fall, the doors swing open. Not because of luck, but because of alignment. This is the power of a day like today. It doesn't just shift your outer life. It rewrites your inner code. It dissolves the doubt that used to stop you. It silences the fear that once held you. You don't need another miracle. You are the miracle. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. You don't need another push. You are the momentum now. And because of that, nothing will feel the same anymore. The way you move will change. The way you respond will change. The way people treat you will change. Because your frequency has changed. And frequency doesn't lie. It magnetizes what's aligned. It repels what no longer serves. It creates what you once only imagined. That's why this day matters. It is not ordinary. It is not just another page. It is the pivot point. The silent cosmic shift that begins within and ripples out to every corner of your life. It is the day that whispers, you're not waiting for the breakthrough anymore. You're becoming it. And once you become it, nothing can reverse it. You are now the walking evidence of divine timing, sacred preparation, and unstoppable movement. You didn't miss it. You didn't lose it. You didn't delay it. You just became ready. And that readiness is the final piece. This is your moment of yes. This is the answer to your own question. This is the confirmation of your own prayer. It's not in the sky. It's not in the wind. It's not in someone else's voice. It's in you. Right now. And it's undeniable. You didn't stumble onto this day. You were led. Everything before now, every delay, every redirection, every heartbreak, was permission being formed in silence. Not to stop you, but to sharpen you. Because to carry what you're about to carry, you had to be refined. not rushed. The weight of your calling required depth, not speed. And now you have that depth. You feel deeper, think deeper, see deeper. You no longer look at situations the same way. You don't react the same way, because your spirit has risen above the noise. What used to drain you now repels off you. What used to confuse you is now crystal clear, because this day has unlocked something in you, something unshakable, something irreversible. You are not here to wonder anymore. You are here to walk, and you are walking with power. You are walking with remembrance. You are walking with spiritual authority, because your soul recognizes this terrain. It's been here before, in visions, in dreams, in quiet moments where no one saw you. But you saw it, you felt it, and now it's no longer imagination, it's incarnation. The vision has entered the physical, and with that manifestation comes a requirement. You can no longer pretend to be unsure. You can no longer pretend to be small. You can no longer dim yourself to fit comfort zones you've outgrown. You're not just chosen, you're activated. That activation shows up in every interaction. It's in your tone. It's in your eyes. It's in your boundaries. It's in your silence. Even your silence now speaks louder than your old voice ever did. You're not here to be loud. You're here to be clear. And clarity is power. Power that doesn't have to scream. Power that doesn't need explanation. Power that doesn't beg to be seen. It simply is. And you now are that power. Others may not understand what's happened to you. They may call it a phase, or a mood, or an attitude. Let them. What they're witnessing is not a mood swing. It's a spiritual shift. You're not being dramatic. You're being recalled to your true nature. And that recall doesn't need approval. You're being remembered by the universe. And as you're being remembered, things around you are being rearranged. People will fall off. Opportunities will rise. New doors will emerge. You don't have to chase them. They'll come to you, because your alignment is a magnet. But remember this, you don't have to accept everything that arrives. Just because it shows up doesn't mean it's meant to stay. Calling requires discernment. You're not desperate. You're discerning. You're not hungry. You're fed from within. This is the real shift, when you no longer reach from lack, but move from overflow. And when you move from overflow, your decisions become sacred. You no longer say yes from fear. You say yes from faith. You no longer say no from guilt. You say no from grounding. That's what this day brings. A new level of spiritual grounding. You're no longer swayed by temporary storms. You are the storm. The kind that clears paths. The kind that shakes foundations. The kind that announces something new has arrived. And you don't have to perform it. You just become it. You're not in hustle mode anymore. You're in harvest mode. And harvest mode doesn't chase. It receives. It stands. It aligns. It opens. You're no longer asking, when will it happen? You're declaring, it's already begun. Because you can feel it, can't you? That subtle shift in the way people respond to you. That sudden silence from those who no longer resonate. That new surge of energy that doesn't feel like hype, but like truth. You're not looking for a breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. Your energy shifts rooms. Your presence breaks cycles. Your voice realigns timelines. And none of it requires validation. Because this day confirms what you've always known deep down. You're not just walking in purpose. You are purpose in motion. And now it's time to protect that. Not in fear, in reverence. This calling is not a performance. It's a sacred assignment. And sacred things must be protected. Not hidden, but honored. That means protecting your peace, your schedule, your space, your energy. Not everyone can walk with you now. Not because they're bad, but because they're not built for your altitude. The air is thinner up here. The expectations are higher. The path is narrower, but the view is clearer, and the voice inside you is louder than ever. And that voice, it's no longer questioning, it's commanding, not others, but you, commanding you to stay focused, to stay true, to stay grounded, to stay willing, because what's coming next will require all of you. Not the masked version, not the muted version, not the version shaped by fear, but the whole sacred, activated version of you that just got confirmed today. This is the final clearing, the final silence before the thunder of your next chapter. You can feel it in your skin, in your spine, in the way time bends around you now. You're no longer waiting on the world to catch up. You're already moving. And those who are meant to meet you on this path will find you in motion, not standing still. Today, a contract in the spirit has been sealed. A new alignment has clicked into place. You may not see all the pieces yet, but you don't need to. That's not your job anymore. Your job is to trust the confirmation, walk in the truth, and carry the vibration you've finally unlocked. Everything else will flow. You've entered sacred territory now. This is not ego. This is elevation. You're not rising to impress. You're rising to express. This rise isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about responding to the internal fire that will not go out. The fire you've tried to ignore. The fire you've tried to suppress. The fire that kept waking you up in the middle of the night. That same fire is now your fuel, and it will not burn you. It will carry you. And as you rise, you'll start to see why things had to unfold the way they did. You'll see why it couldn't happen earlier, why it didn't happen your way, why some doors stayed shut, why certain people had to fall away. It was never a punishment, it was precision. Because the calling can't be fulfilled when your energy is fragmented. You had to be focused, you had to be still, you had to be honest with yourself, and now you are. So you walk, not as who the world remembers, but as who the universe recognizes. You walk with grace, with clarity, with fire, with stillness. You're no longer at the mercy of opinions. You're no longer at the edge of your destiny. You've stepped into it. There will be more days after this one, but none quite like this, because this is the day you said yes with your whole being. This is the day your life responded in return. This is the day the veil lifted. This is the day you remembered who you are and why you came. And because of that remembrance, your path is forever altered. No more waiting for signs. You've become the sign. No more asking for permission. You've remembered you already had it. No more shrinking, because expansion is now your default. From this moment forward, you will move with intention. You will speak with resonance. You will release with peace. You will build from alignment. You will rise without fear. The weight you used to carry, it doesn't belong to you anymore. The shame you used to wear, it cannot follow you here. The guilt, the hesitation, the overthinking, they've all expired. What you hold now is a frequency that cannot be mimicked. It cannot be faked. It cannot be denied. Because it is earned. It is forged. It is remembered. You are the chosen one. Not because you're perfect, but because you finally stopped pretending you weren't. This is your truth. This is your timing. This is your calling. Confirmed, activated, awakened. And now it's time to live from it. Not tomorrow, not next season, not when they believe in you. Now you're not late. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're ready. And because of that, the entire universe is ready for you. So walk, not for attention, not for validation, but for confirmation. Walk like you've already become it, because you have. This is the day, and nothing will ever be the same again. Now let that confirmation be felt. When you walk into a room, walk like alignment just entered. When you speak, speak like divine order just broke the silence. When you create, create like timelines are listening. Because they are. Because now, your presence has weight. Your words have charge. Your silence has meaning. Your no is sacred. And your yes has wings. Let this be your final moment of hesitation. Let this be the death of doubt. Let this be the last time you wait for someone else to say what your soul has already screamed. You are ready. It's happening. It's time. There's no more wondering if this is real. It's real. There's no more questioning if it's for you. It's for you. There's no more asking if you're capable. You are. You've been chosen not just to rise, but to remind. To remind the world that miracles still walk in skin. To remind others that alignment is louder than ambition. To remind yourself that destiny doesn't beg, it builds. And it has been building inside of you for years. Now comes the release. So don't go back. Don't shrink. Don't delay. Walk in it. Walk like the call has already been confirmed. Because it has. Walk like you have nothing to prove. Because you don't. Walk like this world has been waiting for your alignment. Because it has. And let the world feel it. Let the universe respond. Let the future you've always imagined rush to meet the you that finally showed up. Let today be the turning point. Let this be the sacred moment that changed everything. Not because of what you said, but because of who you became. Chosen one, it's already done. And from this moment forward, nothing will ever be the same again.